most amazing artist, and welcome back to a brand new project. This project is inspired by Keith Haring. Keith Haring was an artist and he was born in 1958 in Pennsylvania. He loved to draw cartoons and he loved to visit art museums. His art was heavily inspired by graffiti artists. Those are artists that use spray paint and they paint on walls and they do really big mural paintings, which are super cool. He was inspired by those kinds of artists. In Keith Haring's artwork, he liked to use a lot of different figures, like human figures, but they didn't look realistic. They didn't look like a real human. They had arms, legs, and a head, but they didn't have hair, they didn't have faces or fingers or anything like that. However, they still felt like they had a lot of life because he used gesture. And in this, he created movement in his artwork. It looked like these figures were moving. And you should see pictures on the screen right now of some of his artworks and all of these different figures that he would do. And that is what this artwork is inspired by. And on the screen right now is actually the artwork that we are really taking lots of inspiration from. It's two figures holding up a big heart. And in this artwork, we are going to be communicating a message to the people who are looking at our artwork. We're going to do that by choosing a positive 4-letter word. So I have a bunch of these, and these are linked on our Google Classroom if you want to go look at them. But we're going to use positive 4-letter words because words that are just 4 letters have a lot of impact on whoever is hearing them. So just within these 4 letters of each word is something so powerful and can mean a lot in everyday life. So love, care, grow, kind, safe. All of these positive words will really create a very happy and positive feeling to the people looking at our artwork. And we want to spread positive messages through the things that we create. And that is what this artwork is all about. So here on this sheet is actually the artwork by Keith Haring that this is inspired by. We're not going to draw the entire figure. We're just going to draw the top half. We're going to draw the arms, shoulders, and the head. And of course, we will draw a heart in the background. Okay, so this is kind of like a how to draw video. So if you want to pause the video and go ahead and get your materials, all you need is a piece of paper. Mine is pretty big, but you can do whatever size you want to. You don't even have to use white paper. You could use a different color if you wanted to. And for this drawing, we will be drawing in pencil first, and then after we draw it in pencil, we are going to go over it with either a black marker or a Sharpie to make our lines very bold, just like Keith Haring. Because if you look at his artwork, those black outlines are very bold, so we want ours to be nice and bold. So that's why we will go over it with a black marker. Okay, but first we're starting with a pencil, and this is a brand new piece of paper, so we have to write our name. Okay, and I'm just writing it anywhere on my paper. Doesn't matter where, because what we're going to do is flip it over, so now our name is on the back. We don't want to draw on the same side as our name because then we're just going to cover it up, and we don't want that, okay? Also, as we're drawing today, feel free to pause the video if I'm going too fast or rewind it if you may have missed a part, okay? So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started on our drawing. So, my name is on the back. Check, that was the first step. And we are going to start with 2 circles for the heads. So on my left side of the paper, I'm going to go halfway and then go down a little bit, and I'm going to draw just a circle. Does not have to be perfect. This is pencil, so if you make a mistake, you can always erase it. Then I'm going to come to the right side of my paper, and I'm going to come in just a little bit. I'm going to try to keep these 2 heads at the same level. You don't want one head right down here and then one head up here. They kind of need to be at the same height on your paper. So, and I'm going to try to make them the same size, and this one is going to go on the right side. That is definitely not a perfect circle, but am I too worried about it right now? Nope, not really, because after we do this drawing, we can go in and fix any mistakes that we may have made. And we're actually going to turn these figures into stick figures at first, and then we are going to make them look more like Keith Haring figures. All right, so trust the process, my friends. It's going to look weird at first, but once we get it going and start outlining this stick figure, you will understand. Okay, also while I'm drawing with my pencil, I am not pressing down hard. I'm always drawing very light. My favorite saying when drawing is draw it light until you get it right. Because if you press down too hard on your pencil and then you make a mistake, it's going to be very hard to erase it. Honestly, you might not even be able to erase it all the way. So whenever you're drawing, just do it very light and kind of sketching motions. Okay, you can practice that today. So after you draw your heads, I'm going to draw 2 diagonal lines coming off, and that's the neck. And they're not right in the center, they're kind of off to the side because it's going to look like they are holding up this heart. Okay, so draw 2 diagonal lines on the left head. The diagonal line is pointing towards this corner of my paper, and on the right head, this diagonal line is pointing towards the right corner of my paper. Okay, then from the bottom of our neck, we are going to draw 1 diagonal line coming up, and we're going to do it on the other side as well. So at the bottom of the neck, draw a diagonal line coming up, and then this is the start of the arm, and right here is going to be the elbow. So we're going to draw the forearm now, and that's just another diagonal line going in this direction, and we're going to mirror it over here. So draw another line coming up, and there is our first arm on our figures. Now let's draw the second arm. So starting at the bottom of the neck again, we're going to draw a diagonal line. This one is actually kind of a straight line, not a diagonal one. And we're going to mirror it on the other side. 1 line coming off the bottom of the neck. And remember, this part right here, this is going to be the elbow. So we need to draw the second half of the arm, and it's just going to come up like this. Perfect. All right, now we have to draw the torso. And it's literally just a line right now for our stick figure. And I'm going to do kind of like a curvy line coming down off my paper, and we're starting at the same point. Okay, so the arms and the torso are all starting at the bottom of the neck. Now we get to make these into actual figures, not just stick figures. And we're going to start with the hands. And I like to just start with some arches right at the top of where we left off at this arm. And on the other arm. And same over here. So we're just doing upside down curved shapes above our arms. Those are going to be our hands. So they're going to come in a little bit. They're almost circles, but not exactly, because what we're going to do is we are going to outline around the stick figure that we made. So we're going to draw more lines just on the outside of that stick figure to create the body of our figure. Okay, so I just did the outside of this guy here. Now I'm going to finish up his arm, bringing it up and connecting the neck to the head. So I'm going to start over here on this hand now, and I'm going to bring it down, and I'm basically just going around that stick figure we just made. Now I have to go on the other side of his arm and draw his neck to connect the head and the neck. After you finish going around this stick figure that we made, we can actually take our pencil and we are going to erase that stick figure. Okay, that's why it's really important you don't draw too dark, because we don't want that pencil to show anymore. We're going to get rid of it. So make sure you're not pressing down too hard on your pencil. Okay? And there is our figure. I actually erased the bottom of that circle for the head that was connected to the body, because I want it to look like the head and the body are one. We don't want it to look like it's a circle just sitting on top of this figure. Okay, we want the head and the body connected. All right, so there's my first guy, and he's looking great, just like Keith Haring's figures that he does. Now I'm gonna do the same to this guy over here. And remember, we started at the hands, and we are drawing lines around the stick figure that we made earlier. All right, this is the outside of the arm. Now we have to do the other side. Start at the other side of the hand and outline it. When you get to the neck, draw a line connecting the neck to the head. All right, so there's his right side. Now we have to finish him off on the left side. So I'm gonna bring his hands in a little bit and outline. Once I get to the neck, draw the neck connected to the head, and I have to draw the outside of this arm now and his torso. All right, after you get done outlining your stick figure, do you remember what to do? Yes, we need to erase that stick figure. And that is one reason why we don't draw super dark, because we need to erase this. You might still be able to see it a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, as long as most of it's erased. All right, so there are my figures. They're really simple because you just do a stick figure and then you outline around it. Okay, now let's draw the heart that these figures are holding up. And what I'm going to do to find the middle of my paper is I'm actually going to fold it in half, just a little bit, so I can see where the middle of my paper is. So now that we found the middle of our paper, we want to see where our heart is going to start. So I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to come up just a little bit, and I'm going to mark that, and I'm going to draw a V. Okay, draw a V. Then from the bottom of this V, we're going to come down almost to the bottom of our paper, and we're going to mark it, and we're going to draw another V. Now we have to draw curves connecting our two V's, okay? If you want, I recommend taking your finger first, just so that you can get the motion down before you do it with your pencil. I really like to do this when I'm confused about a shape that I may never have drawn before. So I'm just starting up here at this V, drawing a curve down to make half of my heart. I think I'm ready now that I practiced a little bit, and I'm just gonna sketch it out. All right, so it's curved at the top, and then it's a diagonal line, and I'm gonna connect it. Notice I did not draw the heart on top of my figure down here. I jumped over his arm because I want it to look like he is holding this heart. So I've done this side, now I have to come over and connect this side of our V. And I'm just going to practice with my finger on this side until I feel confident. And then I'm gonna take my pencil and I am going to draw the curve of my heart, trying to make it the same size as the other side of my heart, because hearts are symmetrical, so both sides should be at least almost the same. Now I'm going to connect this V up to my last line that I made on my heart. Again, I jumped over his arm on this side. I did not draw it on top of his arm because I want it to look like he and his friend over here are holding this heart up. Also, in Keith Haring's artwork, he likes to use these gesture lines, okay? This is what gives movement to his artwork. It looks like these figures are moving because he's put these little curved lines around. He also went around the heart with some short lines, and that's what we are going to do as well. So with your pencil, just draw some lines around your heart, okay? We don't want them to be too small. We kind of want them to be bigger, all right? And I'm even gonna do it on the bottom, just like that. Maybe around the elbow, I do 2 gesture marks, so it looks like his elbow is moving. Maybe he is struggling to hold up this heart. Maybe it's very heavy, so he's wiggling a little bit. Same for over here. Just a couple of gesture lines will go a long way, okay, to add movement to this beautiful artwork. All right, after you finish with the pencil, now we are going to take a Sharpie or a black marker, or you could even outline it with a black crayon or colored pencil, and we are going to go over all of our pencil lines. Sharpie is permanent, so make sure you take your time during this part, okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and speed through me outlining this, and I'll be right back to show you what mine looks like. just finished going over all of my pencil lines, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take an eraser and erase any of those pencil lines. Okay, that's a part of your craftsmanship grade. That is how neat your artwork is. We don't want this artwork to be muddled down by all these messy pencil lines. So that is why after we outline, we always erase those pencil lines to make sure our artwork stays nice and neat. So I'm going to go ahead and erase those lines, and I'll be right back to show you the next step, because there's actually one more thing we have to do that I almost forgot about. So let me erase these, and then I will be right back. Alright, I just finished erasing all my pencil lines. I tried my best to find all of them and make sure that I got rid of them, okay? The last thing that I almost forgot, like I said, is we have to add a positive 4-letter word inside of our heart. So you can choose one of these that I've given you, or you can come up with your own. I think I want to go with, I think I'm going to go with calm, because that's one of my favorite words. I love to feel calm. That's a very positive feeling to have. So I am going to write all uppercase. Okay, write your letters all uppercase so that they are easy to read, and try your best to use your best handwriting. So I'm going to write 2 letters on this side, and I'm going to do the last 2 letters on this side, because I kind of want to keep it as symmetrical as I can. We don't just want to have all 4 letters on one side. We want to spread it out across our entire heart. So I'm going to do the C, and I think I want my letters to kind of be wibbly wobbly, so I'm going to put one down here, and then I'll do the L up here, and I'll do the M down here. So they don't have to be all on the same level of your paper, okay? You can kind of make it a little bit more interesting by having them at different heights if you want to. After you write your letters nice and neat, all uppercase, 2 letters on the left side, 2 letters on the right side, we are going to outline it, and then we will erase those pencil lines once more, and then we will be done for today. And there is our final drawing. Now we are going to be adding color to this next week, so make sure you put yours in a safe place so that it doesn't get ruined or lost or accidentally thrown away. Alright, I hope you guys have a lot of fun creating this amazing and positive Keith Haring drawing. I can't wait to see how yours turn out. I know it's going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!